It's Jordan, the 1031 doctor, and today we're going to be going over some deals I found on Crexi, and there are a few different types of deals, and we're just going to jump right into these things. A lot of these deals are just fresh on the market, so I wanted to bring them up. And so let's dive in. Anyways, the 1031 doctor has been buying, building, selling, leasing triple net investments across the country since 1986. And we will analyze any deal across the country within 24 hours for $299. Let's do the first deal. The first deal that we looked at today was this Love's Car Wash in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the reason why I like this deal is because of the bonus depreciation that basically will allow you to depreciate 100% of the deal, or roughly about 4 million of the 5 million on the first year. They want a 6.25 cap going in, which is great. And Love Car Wash, they have about 80 locations. And you really can't beat this kind of a cash flow deal and the bonus depreciation. The only issue here is it's a 1 point annual increase, which is pretty low. But Vegas is a great place to invest in. And we'd have to do a little more information, a little more deeper dive as to the location. So it's west of the 15, which is great. And I'm assuming that's west. So this is north going that way. Yeah, that's west. So that's the side you want to be on. So that's pretty good. Let's take a look at the property, and it flags around a 7-Eleven, which is good. You got 28,000 cars on this side, 20,000 cars on that side. So you got 50 on the corner, but you're not on the corner, but you are next to a gas station. That is what you're looking for. Now, this is pretty high density here. And here's another car wash here, or another gas station. Here's a Maverick. That'll give you an idea. Now, I don't know if you've ever lived in Vegas, but I lived in Vegas for a year, and you get a lot of car accidents. People are just driving all over the road. It's a pretty crazy place to live. Yeah, like I said, this Love has 80 locations. Good demographics, income 96, 91, 86, and projected 373,000 in 2030 projection. It's not bad. 50,000 cars. I like this deal. I like that deal. The next deal is Farmington, New Mexico again. You know I love Farmington, New Mexico. And this one's pretty new on the market. It's a Red Lobster. And you know what happened with Red Lobster? It was a pretty crazy situation. I think it's pretty stable now. But the deck company was definitely used and abused, and now. But if you like this concept, it's not Darden anymore, but it's still Red Lobster, and you got a 6.5 cap. Now I can just tell you the store sales are just going to be astronomical for this deal in Farmington. Anything in Farmington, it's great real estate. You can't beat it. Here's your Home Depot across the street. Farmington just has enormous sales, and they all come basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's the big day in Farmington, I think. But you're going to have lines out the door on one or two of the days. Maybe the rest of the week, not so much. But you have people driving in 80 miles to get to Farmington. All the Indian reservations, the Apache, Navajo, the Paiute. It's kind of like Calexico, Mexicali. You just have a huge draw. And all of the retailers in Farmington typically do double their average store sales in other parts of the country. So I would look at this deal. Good cap rate, great tenant. Great concept. I don't think they're going anywhere. There's 13.3 years remaining. They got 4 5-year options, 873 a square foot. Not so happy about that. We'd have to look into the bumps, but this is a really nice deal here. Let's keep going. This one is been on the market for 23 days. This is a medical office, and you got a nice cap rate here, and it's a corporate guarantee, DSOFDG. We'll have to look into that. Well-established company with history of success, and this is medical, so a 7-cap medical deal with rent bumps, built in 2017, and we're looking at Hamilton, Ohio. Not such a great fan of Ohio, but no landlord responsibility. facilities surrounded by established healthcare. And I think the demographics were pretty good on this deal. So this is a smaller $1.3 million deal on a 5,000 foot building. So that's pretty cheap. That's what I liked about it. And that is that one. We can do a deeper dive on that one in another video. And here's another medical deal, and this is a kind of a better one. And this one is going to be in, I think this one's in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Storefront, Heartland Dental Corporation. And Heartland is a big company. You shouldn't have any problems with collecting the rent. 5.6 cap rate, not so great about that. Oh, it's in Illinois, right? Their headquarters is in Illinois. And this deal is located in Indiana. Third largest city, Indiana, Evansville, and they have 121,000 people. And some of the other things. These Heartland Dentals, you really don't have to worry about. They put in so much money in the interior improvements that you're not really, they don't jump around. So if anything, if Heartland ever had issues, they would sell it to another dental group, and that's how that business works. You got 24,000 cars per day, which is, getting close to my minimum. So over 158,000 residents within a 10-mile radius. Not the greatest, but high income area with an average exceeding 134,000 within 1 mile. That is who you want to have in an area for a dental office. Heartland is a corporate tenant. You're right here on the freeway. You got a Wendy's, a Schnucks. Not the greatest traffic, 24,000, but that, my minimum is 20 unless it's going through Beverly Hills. I'm really careful about that. So there's another medical deal. Now, here's one that is a Pep Boys. And I love Pep Boys. One of my first deals was a Pep Boys in Culver City, California. Did a ground lease, took me many years. And I was very young, and you can see that on my website, how I developed that property. But this is a really low price point in a mall in Biloxi, Mississippi, 2580 Beach Boulevard. Now, if you look at this mall with a Dillard's, it all looks good. You got a McDonald's on the corner, Cane's right here. This Pep Boys is going to be on the sleepy part of the mall and on the back where the cinemas are. They always put the cinemas in the worst part of the mall. Sometimes, I guess. But Dillard's, this is the prominent location. McDonald's obviously has number one. Cane's took what they had to. But Pep Boys is looking good over there. It's just a double net lease with 4 years remaining. And it's a big building for the price, like $100 a foot. It's really cheap. Edgewater Mall out parcel. So out parcels to malls, there's a reciprocal parking agreement. It's its own land, but you have to read the reciprocal parking agreement. So the income in the area is 87,000 within a 5-mile radius in Biloxi, Mississippi. So you can work with that. If this was really low income, I don't know how Dillard's would be doing here. JCPenney's would be doing okay, but with that kind of household income in a 5 mile, I would say that this is a decent parcel, but it's a very low price point of $1.6 million. So I liked this deal. The next one. Now, this is interesting. I love Houston, Texas for investing. This one's on the market 6 days, 2.3 million. It's a Jiffy Lube, but it's multi-care. It's a bigger building, 4,400 square feet for 2.3 million. 6 cap, 3 5-year options, built in 2007, so it's 20 years old. There's rent bumps, and it's a corporate guarantee. 120,000 vehicles per day. We like that a lot. So these Jiffy Lubes also qualify for bonus depreciation. Just remember that when it says 4,600 square feet, there's also another 2,000 feet of basement in there, and you have to calculate that when you're figuring out how much they spent on this building. These are not cheap buildings to put together. I've done at least 24 over the years. I don't know how many I did, but it's a great business, and this sits within a Home Depot anchored shopping center. Let's take a look. 126,000 people in a 3-mile radius. And here's your Home Depot, and yeah, you see this is the not the best part of the mall here. This is the back end of the mall. You got this green belt here. I don't know what they're doing with that. But you got Baskin Robinsons. You see all the power players are on this end. That's where you want to be. But for this can be destination, so that's okay. I wouldn't worry too much about that one. Now, I like this deal a lot. This one just hit the market. This is a single tenant, long-term 30-year corporate lease with a rehabilitation memory care. This type of business is not going anywhere but up. And as the baby boomers get older, you're going to see a demand for this type of use skyrocket beyond belief. With an 8% cap rate and a 30-year term, brand new building in Jasper, Texas. This is the kind of thing you just really doesn't come around that often. So it's a brand new deal, no landlord responsibilities, 2% increases every year, purpose-built facility, spacious campus, ample parking, essential medical opportunity, strategically positioned to capture patient demand from Newton County and surrounding East Texas communities. That's, I guess, Lufkin is over on the east end. But listen, this is the kind of thing where a 30-year deal, 7 million, this thing's gorgeous, and the demand for it is just astronomical. So I would like that for a big exchange if you're into one. This is something you just never have to worry about. Now, here's a really interesting deal. This one here is a Lowe's center, and this is in Philadelphia MSA, South Jersey suburb within the Philadelphia MSA area. And this is a major piece of property in a great area and paying very, very low rent. The price point of this deal is 10 million, and it's worth every penny of that. You got 15 acres, built 24 years ago, and it's a ground lease, so you will get no depreciation. The tenant is Lowe's. GLA 134, 15 acres, ground lease, ending in 2031, 10% in options, 6 5-year options. First 2 options have been exercised, so there's 4 years left, and you got 10% rent bumps every time they go. And it's below market rent. They're paying 50 cents, or $5, I should say, and they're saying the market rent is $10 per square foot. And so their upside here is amazing. Yeah, rental rate, 50% of market rents with 10% increases in options. Sub 5 per square foot mitigates risk. That's true. They exercise the 2 previous options. It's an investment grade deal. And I really think that this is a great deal for 10 million bucks. You've got FedEx ground facility here, UPS here. I'm sure there's an airport not far away. You've got 32,000 cars, and this house or whatever this is solid gold. Pylon sign. We'd have to look at. Here's a Zaxby's chicken. Bill's Wonderland of Pets Pet Store. That's important. Here's truck repair, landscaping. So this is a pseudo industrial area, and over here is the shopping center area. You got PetSmart, Popeyes, Charlie's. So that's kind of area it's in. You know, getting a single tenant Lowe's deal. Yeah, here's some more industrial. It's an obscure kind of location, and we'd have to really get a Placer.ai study to see how they're doing. New roof installed by Lowe's 2016, with this store being one of 174 stores to have solar infrastructure installed 22-23. They're trying to mitigate some of the costs there. It probably gets cold as hell. And that's a big building to keep warm. And here's your McDonald's, Dollar General, and yeah, graveyard, church-owned parcel graveyard. So this is a church. So this is a graveyard. That's what the deal is, and that's not going anywhere. Some people don't like buying properties next to graveyards, but believe me, there's graves littering this entire country you don't even realize. So yeah, this is a nice Lowe's deal. And here's your demographics: 100,000 average in a 1 mile, 126 and 118 in a 5. This is not a poor area. Even they're showing industrial there. I kind of like this deal. And you got Pennsylvania on one side, 42,000 average vehicles per day on Highway 30. So this is kind of an interesting deal. And That's basically it for today. I think those are a bunch of good deals. And if you're in an exchange and you need some help, reach out to me, Jordan, at the 1031 Doctor. And please, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. And As far as brokerage goes, I represent clients in California mainly. And so if you're in California and you want to buy properties in other states, I can help you. And I have a broker network all across the country. But typically, I don't broker properties for non-California clients. But I do broker properties in California for non-California residents. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag there. But I refer a lot of brokerage out over the years, and that's what I would do for you if you need some help with a broker out of California. And Appreciate your time. And please, like I said, like, subscribe, and share this content. Have a great day.